Hey guys, it's Rooster here. Welcome to this combat tutorial video for Civ Eras and Allies. I'll be going through some of the basics of combat, how it works, and how to start putting your own armies together. I hope you find these videos helpful. In this first video, I'll be going over hero skills, range, skill types, and skill categories. Firstly, we'll go through the hero skills. If you click on your army icon, click on any of the heroes, you'll see just here are your stats. You've got your attack at the top, defense, int stands for intelligence, siege, and AGI. I'll quickly go through what each of those means. Attack, stop on here, is what's going to be used for any of your basic attacks and your attack skills. Defense, it reduces the damage taken from basic attacks and offensive skills. Intelligence is your intelligence skills. So there's going to be certain skills where the damage is affected by your intelligence stats. And if you click on this, it'll also show you that having a higher intelligence will reduce the damage taken from these intelligence skills. Next is siege. That's how much damage you're going to deal when you're trying to lower the endurance of a building. So this could be another player's tile, someone's city, a city-state, or a fortress. Lastly, you've got AGI at the bottom. This determines the hero's action order in battle. We'll go through all that in a little bit. Different heroes generally have one skill higher than the others. If you look at Queen Ditto here, you can see right there, to the right of that her intelligence is 235, a lot higher than the next. Generally, a hero is either going to have a high attack or a high intelligence stat, and that's the sort of skills you want to be giving to them. In this case, it wouldn't be very effective to give an attack skill because her attack is only 97 compared to her intelligence at 235. We'll go to the next hero here. We've got Milan. She has a very high attack and very low intelligence. You wouldn't want to be giving her any intelligence skills. If we quickly look at one of these skills, you can see here, deal attack damage. And if we go over to Ditto again, she has intelligence skills. Lastly, we got this guy, Spartacus. He has a higher attack than intelligence, but he also has very high defense. The defense is what you're going to want on your Vanguard hero. The Vanguard is the name for the hero in the far right position. We have center in the middle and captain in the left spot. We'll go through the positioning in a little bit. Next we have range. Each hero is going to have a different range. The lowest range a hero can have is 1. The highest one can have is 5. You can see right there where I pointed, you've got 3 on Queen Ditto, right next to where it says level 50. You've got 4 on Milan, and then 3 on Spartacus. If you click on the hero, you can see it just there as well. Basic attack, maximum range. So this range is going to be just for the basic attacks. At the end of your hero's order and attacks will come the basic attacks. Now for this range, it goes to the right. So for Queen Ditto, if you're going to look at her range of 3, Milan will be the first in the order, then Spartacus, and then the opposing Vanguard will be in the 3 position. Since there's no friendly fire, you're not attacking any of your allies. The only place basic attacks from Queen Ditto in this army could land is the opposing Vanguard. Which is why our Spartacus, which is in the Vanguard position, has a very high defense, because it's most likely to cop the brunt of the basic attacks from the opposing heroes. And of course, a high defense puts you in a better position to defend and reduce the damage from these basic attacks. Milan has a range of 4 and is in the middle position. So the first range would be Spartacus. Second, you'd have to imagine, would be the inverse of this, and would be the opposing vanguard. So she can hit the opposing vanguard. It's in range. Third would be the opposing center. So she can hit both the vanguard and the center. And then fourth is the opposing captain. So Milan here is capable of hitting any of the 3 opposing heroes with her basic attacks. Spartacus here only has a range of 3, but because he is 1 slot over to the right, it means he can also attack all 3 of the opposing heroes with his basic attacks. Now what you don't want to do is put a hero with short distance range in the captain position. Say Queen Dido was a hero who only had a range of 2 instead of 3. She would only be able to target Milan and Spartacus. In this case, if she tries to attack with a basic attack, there's no opposing hero in range. So she just does not attack with a basic attack. Now you also have skill ranges. This is mostly for engage and active skills, which we'll go through in a second. If we click on Meteor Shot here, you can see the range is 5. So in the center position, that can hit all the opposing heroes. And even if Milan was in the captain position, she would also be able to hit all the opposing heroes the whole way through to their captain, because it has a range of 5, which is the maximum. Arrowstorm, however, only has a range of 4. So in the center position, it can hit all the opposing heroes. But if we were to move Milan to the captain right now, a range of 4 would only be able to hit their vanguard and their center. Next, we go to skill types. If we open up our skill tab, you can see here that we have 4 different types of skills. These are your active skills. They will trigger after your main skill. They might deal damage or do a control effect like disorientate, or heal units like from the front line. Next we have passive skills. These are skills that don't necessarily have an order in which they go. Counter-offensive is a quite popular one. Counter triggers whenever you get hit by a basic attack and automatically deals damage back. Next we have combo. We talked about basic attacks before. Combo skills are all activated by a basic attack. If you look at the text, it will always read after using a basic attack. Then you have whatever the effect is. All of them are going to say that, after using a basic attack. Lastly is engage. Engage is activated either at the start of your turn, at the end of the turn, or at the beginning of battle for X number of turns. Preemptive action, for example, is the first 3 turns. Knights Hospitaller, for example, is at the start of your own turn. Active, passive, combo, and engage. That's the 4 skill types there. Next, we have skill categories. You've got your attack damage skills that we talked about earlier, like Meteor Shot and Arrowstorm. You want to put them on your attack heroes. You've got your intelligence skills. We'll just say int for short. Int damage skills. They'll deal damage based on how much int the hero has. You have your heal skills. Just about all heal skills are affected by int, so you generally put them on your heroes that have high int. Then you have your debuff cleansers. There's not many in the game. I believe there's only 4 or 5. I'll show you an example of one. We have Last Resort. It says, remove all allies' combat debuffs. There are a lot of debuffs in the game, and being able to get rid of debuffs is very valuable. Debuffs can deal damage, they can reduce your damage output, they can increase damage you take from others' attacks, or even make your heroes attack their own side. They can do a lot of bad things. Last Resort is a very good one that you can get at the very beginning of the game. It is possible to get King David through an event. King David can then be retired for Last Resort. Retiring we haven't spoken about yet. Retiring a hero will eat up that hero to give you the skill that it shows in the Retire tab. Look at Spartacus, and this Retire button on the right. This is the skill that we would get if we were to retire Spartacus right now. We would get Trojan Horse, but we would lose Spartacus. Another one we have is From the Front Line, right here. It reads, target the ally with the most wounded troops, remove all of their debuffs. That will just target a single hero at a time and remove their debuffs. Whereas Last Resort will remove all debuffs. The last one I will show you is very easy to get. It is called Reorganization. You do get 2 copies of this, and it's a purple skill, so it's very easy to get. Purple skills are weaker, but more common than gold skills. It removes all the debuffs from 2 of your heroes, kind of in between the 2 others I showed, and then it also grants healing. Now this healing is not very good, but you get your debuff cleanse, which can be quite important. So if you don't have those other 2, it may be worth putting Reorganization into your army. The other skill category we have is control skills. I'll show you an example of that. It reads, prepare for 1 turn, then deal some damage, and then you're going to disorientate the 2 targets for 2 turns. Now if we click on disorientate, it reads, attack or apply effects indiscriminately. This means if you disorientate your opponent and they try to attack, they may not actually attack one of your heroes, they could attack any of their own heroes. This is the one-time friendly fire can happen. This can kind of act as a pseudo heal in a way because you're no longer getting hit all the time. And then it also kind of acts as a damage dealing skill. Their skill on their turn is dealing damage to their heroes instead of yours. There are other types of control skills. You've got ones that stop basic attacks from being done. Preemptive action. Cannot use basic attacks. You're going to disarm 2 enemies. It can be very effective as a tech skill, which I'll get into in a little bit. And then the last skill category is buff. If you go down here, you can see your buff skills. Preemptive action is technically in buff for some reason, but you have mostly bad skills. At least these ones anyway. All these purple skills you see here are generally pretty bad and should be avoided. Reinforcement Annihilation is the one that could be used, but the others I would generally steer clear of, even though you'll be recommended them from the in-game recommendations. It's best to steer clear until you very much know what they do and that it would be very useful for your army. That's it for the first video. In the next video, I'll be going over purple armies versus gold armies, starting armies, and your basic army types. If you found this video helpful or have any questions, please let me know in the comments and give it a like. If you'd like a video on other parts of the game, please let me know which parts, and I may or may not make a video about it. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.